Welcome back. I'm Pratap here. Today is the 26th March 2025. In this video, I'm going to generate different supply demand zone reports useful to the premium subscribers. Before that, all of you please note we are providing complete free training on supply demand zone price action. And it is a highly expensive training course, but we are making all the training lessons as a free and they are already available at our NeoStock YouTube channel. So you can access all the training lessons by clicking the tab post. Some of you might be seeing the tab community. Click the tab. You get access to this post. This post is having a YouTube playlist link that will take you to all the training lessons. You just click on the link. Now we are into supply demand zone price action course. You have all the training lessons are available. Just scroll down to the bottom of the page. Here starting from lesson 1.1, all the training lessons are placed in an order. So please go through all these lessons one by one, but according to my training instructions provided at our Telegram channel. I provided the link to our Telegram channel in this video description. So join at our Telegram channel. At the top of the Telegram channel window, you can find pinned messages. So one of the pinned messages are having all the training instructions. So please learn this course according to those training instructions. Then you will become a very good independent trader in the coming months. Now let's get into the report generation with the help of NeoStock Software Supply Demand Zone Top-Down Analysis Strategy Builder. Okay, first I'm going to generate stocks near demand and supply zones, and during this process we will also identify daily and 75 minutes high liquidity zones. Starting with the yearly time frame, price closed inside the yearly demand zone. We got 4 stocks. I'm giving you only few seconds time to watch the report. So I request you pause the video, study the report and then move on to the next reports. In case if you did not understand the structure of this report, I request you complete our training lesson 21.1. In that video, I have explained each and every column, their values, abbreviations in detail. Okay, next. Price closed inside the yearly supply zone. No stocks are available. Next time frame is half yearly. Stocks near half yearly demand zone. We have 2 stocks. Next, stocks near half yearly supply zone. No stocks. Price closed inside the half yearly demand zone. We got 4 stocks. Next, price closed inside the half-yearly supply zone. We got 3 stocks. Next time frame is a quarterly. Stocks near quarterly demand zone. We got 2 stocks. Next, stocks near quarterly supply zone. We got 7 stocks. Next, price closed inside the quarterly demand zone. First 23 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. So total 32 stocks. We can further filter based on quarterly demand zone having quarterly EMA Confluence. So EMA Confluence at quarterly time frame, I am setting the filter quarterly demand zone with quarterly EMA Confluence. And also trend on the quarterly time frame should not be sideways when you are selecting EMA Confluence. So that's why selecting up or down with these filters. We got 16 stocks. Okay, next quarterly time frame. Price closed inside the quarterly supply zone. We got 6 stocks. We can further filter based on quarterly supply zone having quarterly EMA Confluence. And also trend on the quarterly up or down with these filters. We got 3 stocks. Okay, next time frame is monthly. Stocks near monthly demand zone. We got 3 stocks. Next, stocks near monthly supply zone. We got 12 stocks. Next, price closed inside the monthly demand zone. First 18 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. So total 30 stocks are filtered. We can further filter based on monthly demand zone having monthly EMA confluence. And trend on the monthly either up or down. With these filters, we got 11 stocks. Okay, next, monthly time frame. Price closed inside the monthly supply zone. First 15 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. So total 22 stocks are filtered. We can further filter based on monthly supply zone having monthly EMA confluence. Trend on the monthly either up or down. With these filters, now the list is come down to 16 stocks. First 15 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. So total 16 stocks. Okay, next time frame is weekly. Stocks near weekly demand zone. First 15 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. Total 25 stocks are filtered. Okay, next, stocks near weekly supply zone. We got 11 stocks. Next, price closed inside the weekly demand zone. We got 14 stocks. We can further filter this list based on weekly demand zone having weekly EMA confluence. And also trend on the weekly should not be sideways. It can be up or down. We got 2 stocks, but both are pierced demand zones. Okay, next, weekly time frame. Price closed inside the weekly supply zone. We got a big list. First 16 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. $48 stocks. Further, we filter based on weekly supply zone having weekly EMA confluence. And also trend on the weekly should not be sideways. Can be up or down. So now the list is reduced. First 16 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. Total 23 stocks are filtered. So this is about weekly time frame. And the next time frame is daily. Entry time frame daily. Let us find the stocks near to the daily demand zone. We got 12 stocks. Let us identify high liquidity daily demand zones from this list. Canara Bank is having a high liquidity daily demand zone. And Titan is having a high liquidity daily demand zone. We identified 2 stocks from this list. Okay, next, for daily time frame, let us find the stocks near to the daily supply zone. We got 10 stocks. Let us identify high liquidity supply zones from this list. First one is a pierced zone. We want to look in, anyway it is not listed in F&O. And this is also pierced zone, so it's not a valid. PEL is having a high liquidity supply zone. It is also having high liquidity demand zone. Either side we may get trade opportunities. See, both are high liquidity zones. Okay. So we have identified only one daily high liquidity supply zone from this list. Okay, next. Price closed inside the daily demand zone. First 15 stocks in the list. I am scrolling the list down. Total 42 stocks are filtered. We can further filter based on daily demand zones having daily EMA confluence. And also trend on the daily should not be sideways. So now we got the filtered list, first 16 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. So total 20 stocks are filtered. Okay, next, daily time frame, price closed inside the daily supply zone. Again, we got a big list, first 15 stocks in the list. I'm scrolling the list down. "49 stocks are filtered. We can further filter based on daily supply zones having daily EMA confluence. And also trend on the daily should not be sideways. So we got 8 stocks. Okay, this is about daily time frame. Next time frame is 125 minutes. Stocks near 125 minutes demand zone. So first 15 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. So total 27 stocks are filtered. Next, stocks near to the 125 minute supply zone, we got 6 stocks. Next time frame is 75 minutes. Stocks near to the 75 minutes demand zone. First 15 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. So total 22 stocks are filtered. Okay, now let us identify high liquidity zones from this list. Nifty IT not listed in F&O. Nifty Metal also not listed in F&O. Concur is having a high liquidity zone. MGL is having a high liquidity zone. NCC is having a high liquidity zone. Poonawalla is having a high liquidity zone. Tata Consumer is having a high liquidity zone. And no more high liquidity zones. Okay. So Concur, this is the first one. First. This is the second one, MGL. Third, NCC. Fourth, Poonawalla. And fifth, Tata Consumer. Total 5 high liquidity demand zones we identified. This is the first one and this is the fifth one. In between you have, total we have 5 high liquidity 75 minutes demand zones. Okay, next. For 75 minutes time frame, let us find the stocks near to the 75 minute supply zone. We got 8 stocks. Let us identify high liquidity supply zones from this list. but LODA is a pierced zone, we can't use. So we don't have any valid high liquidity 75-minute supply zones from this list. So with this we have completed both Nifty and both daily and 75 minutes high liquidity zones. Next time frame is 25 minutes. Stocks near to the 25 minutes demand zone. We got 14 stocks. Next, stocks near to the 25 minute supply zone. We got 4 stocks. Next time frame is 15 minutes. Stocks near to the 15 minutes demand zone. We got 9 stocks. Let's verify out of these 9 how many are having ITF demand zone confluence. That is 15 minutes with 75 minutes demand zone confluence. I am enabling the filter. We got 5 stocks. All these 15 minutes demand zones overlapped with 75 minutes demand zone. Okay, next 15 minutes time frame. Stocks near to the 15 minute supply zone. We got 4 stocks. Let's verify how many are having 15 minutes supply zones with 75 minute supply zone confluence. So I'm enabling the filter. This is ITF confluence. We got 2 stocks. Both these 15 minute supply zones overlapped with 75 minute supply zone. Okay, next time frame is 5 minutes. Stocks near 5 minutes demand zone. We got 12 stocks. We can further filter based on the ITF demand zone confluence. That is 5 minutes with 15 minutes demand zone confluence. I am enabling the filter. Now we got 4 stocks. In that few demand zones are pierced, you can ignore them. First one and third one. Okay, next for 5 minutes time frame. Stocks near 5 minutes supply zone. We got 6 stocks. Let's verify how many of these stocks are having ITF supply zone confluence. That is 5 minutes and 15 minutes supply zone confluence. Enabling the filter. So we don't have any stocks. So this is about stocks near demand and supply zones for different time frame. Next we will generate Nifty and BANKNIFTY supply demand zone chain. Starting with Nifty, monthly time frame, generating monthly supply demand zone chain for Nifty. So this is Nifty monthly supply demand zone chain. Always look into the zone column to find high liquidity zones. Look into the pierced column to find the pierced zones. Always look into the LTF trend to find the trend of the current time frame you have selected. So apply the same rules to remaining supply demand zone chain reports. Okay, next, generating weekly supply demand zone chain for Nifty. Next, generating daily supply demand zone chain for Nifty. Next, generating 125 minutes supply demand zone chain for Nifty. Next, generating 75 minutes supply demand zone chain for Nifty. Next, generating 25 minutes supply demand zone chain for Nifty. Next, generating 15 minutes supply demand zone chain for Nifty. The nearest demand zone to the current closing price is at 28. So let me put it in the center. Okay. Next, generating 5-minute supply demand zone chain for Nifty. All are supply zones. I am scrolling the list down. And the nearest demand zone is 45 to the current closing price. This is the nearest demand zone. 44 is the nearest supply zone. Okay, this is about Nifty supply demand zone chain. Next, we will generate Bank Nifty supply demand zone chain. That is nothing but Nifty Bank generating monthly supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, generating weekly supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, generating daily supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, generating 125-minute supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, generating 75 minutes supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, generating 25 minutes supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, generating 15-minute supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, generating 5-minute supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. $21 is the nearest demand zone to the current closing price. Let me adjust in the center. Okay. So this is about Bank Nifty supply demand zone chain. Now let us generate a bullish and bearish trade setups for different income trades. Starting with monthly income trade bullish trade setup. Entry for bullish income for monthly income trade bullish trade setup. Entry time frame is a daily. Entry zone is a demand zone. Bullish or bearish trade setup. A daily time frame I am selecting bullish. Zone achievement is violated opposing zone. Minimum odd enhancer score is 12. With these filters, we got 9 stocks. Bullish trade setup for monthly income trade. Now let's verify out of these 9 how many daily demand zones are having more high probability zones, because all these zones are daily demand zones. We should look into the demand zones, bullish trade setup for entry time frame. So first filter is LTF ITF demand zone confluence. That is, the daily demand zone should overlap with the weekly demand zone. So this is what we are selecting, daily demand zone overlap with weekly demand zone, zone confluence. With this filter, out of 9, we got 7 stocks. These 7 daily demand zones overlapped with weekly demand zone. Because they are overlapped with weekly demand zone, and weekly demand zone having weekly EMA confluence could be even more high probability trade setup. Moreover, all the weekly trend is a uptrend because it is a ITF trend. So let's go back. In the EMA confluence, let us check if weekly demand zone having weekly EMA confluence. And anyway, weekly trend is uptrend. So we got 4 stocks. So these 4 demand zones are having even more high probability to get success. These are the more high probability based on LTF, ITF, demand zone confluence and ITF, EMA confluence. Okay, next filter is based on LTF, ITF and even HTF demand zone confluence supported stocks. Let us filter. So I'm going back, removing this EMA filter because it is ITF specific. Now we should focus on HTF. So in the demand zone confluence, we need to set 3 filters. Daily with weekly already enabled. Next, daily with monthly demand zone confluence and weekly with daily monthly demand zone confluence. With all the 3 filters, LTF, ITF, HTF, demand zone confluence, we got 2 stocks. And both these stocks are having uptrend, HTF trend. And moreover, these daily demand zones overlapped with weekly, both together again overlapped with monthly. That means all are part of monthly demand zone. And also monthly trend is up. If monthly demand zone having monthly EMA confluence, then these stocks might be having even more high probability to get success. Let's verify. Okay. So in the EMA confluence, at monthly time frame, I am setting the filter monthly demand zone having monthly EMA. Anyway, monthly trend is up for both the stocks. So both are filtered. So that means these 2 are having even more high probability to get success. So this is a bullish trade setup for monthly income trade. Next, bearish trade setup for monthly income trade. Entry time frame daily, entry zone, supply zone. Bullish or bearish trade setup at daily, it is bearish. Zone achievement violated opposing zone, minimum order enhances score 12. We got 5 stocks. These 5 are supporting bearish trade setup for monthly income trade, and entry time frame zones are daily supply zones. Okay, out of these 5 daily supply zones, how many are having more probability to get success based on zone confluence? So first filter LTF, ITF supply zone confluence. That is a daily and weekly supply zone confluence. I enable the filter. Out of 5, we got all 5 stocks. So all these daily supply zones overlapped with weekly supply zone, and also weekly trend is down in all these stocks. So if weekly supply zone having weekly EMA confluence, and these daily supply zones which are overlapped with weekly supply zone having more high probability to get success. Let's verify. Weekly time frame, checking weekly supply zone having weekly EMA confluence. So out of 5, 4 are filtered. So these 4 daily supply zones are having even more high probability to get success. See, that is the reason why this stock is already tested 3 times. This is already tested 2 times. Okay. This is LTF, ITF specific. Next, let us look into LTF, ITF, HTF supply zone confluence supported stocks. Removed EMA filter. In the supply zone confluence, we should set 3 filters. First filter is already enabled, daily with weekly. Next, daily with monthly supply zone confluence. Weekly with monthly supply zone confluence. With all the 3 filters, we got 2 stocks. In these 2 stocks, the daily supply zones overlapped with weekly. Both again overlapped with monthly. But monthly trend is sideways. Sideways, we don't check EMA confluence because it won't give any advantage. So this is bearish trade setup for monthly income trade. Okay, next we will generate Weekly income trade setups. First bullish trade setup, weekly income trade, entry time frame 75 minutes, entry zone, demand zone, bullish or bearish at 75 minutes. I'm selecting bullish, and the zone achievement violated opposing zone. Minimum odd and hands score should be 12. And also the 75 minutes demand zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count at 75 minutes time frame, I'm selecting minimum value 0, maximum value 0. That means pierced count should be 0. Pierced count 0 means zone is not pierced. Okay, all the three filters, zone achievement, minimum odd and hands score, pierced count. All three filters are applied to 75 minutes demand zone. Whatever you select, to that the filters will be applied. So we got 12 stocks. All these 12 are supporting bullish trade setup for weekly income trade, and the entry time frame zones are 75 minutes demand zone. All these are all 75 minutes. We have 12 75 minutes demand zones. Out of these 12, how many are having more high probability to get success? Let's verify based on zone confluence. First filter is LTF ITF demand zone confluence. That is 75 minutes and daily demand zone confluence. So with this filter, we got 8 stocks. Okay, 75 overlapped with daily. So now let us check how many daily demand zones having daily EMA confluence. Checking daily demand zone with daily EMA confluence. We got 7 stocks. So these 75 minutes demand zones are having more high probability to get success. This is based on LTF and ITF zone confluence and EMA confluence. Next, we will look into LTF, ITF and HTF demand zone confluence supported stocks. Removing this EMA filter. In the demand zone confluence, 3 filters we have to set. First one already enabled. Next 75 with weekly demand zone confluence. Daily with weekly demand zone confluence. With all the 3 filters, we got 4 stocks. So 75 minutes demand zone overlapped with daily, both together again overlapped with weekly. But weekly trend is only uptrend, only one stock. Let us check if this stock weekly demand zone having weekly EMA confluence. The EMA weekly, checking weekly demand zone having weekly EMA. But trend should not be sideways. So that's why in the trend at weekly, I am selecting uptrend because it is bullish trade setup. So that one stock is filtered. So this is having even more high probability to get success. So this is about a bullish trade setup for weekly income trade. Next, bearish trade setup for weekly income trade. Entry time frame 75 minutes, entry zone, supply zone, bullish or bearish. At 75 minutes, I am selecting bearish. Zone achievement VOZ, minimum odd and hands score 12. And also 75 minute supply zone should not be pierced. So at 75, minimum value 0, maximum value 0. With these filters, we got 9 stocks. All these 9 are supporting bearish trade setup for weekly income trade. Entry time frame zones are 75 minute supply zones. So these are the 75 minute supply zones. Out of these 9 75 minute supply zones, how many are having even more high probability to get success? Let us filter based on the zone confluence. First filter is the LTF ITF supply zone confluence. That is 75 minutes and daily supply zone confluence. With this filter, we got 6 stocks. In all these 6 stocks, 75 minute supply zones are overlapped with daily supply zone. And daily trend is a downtrend in all the stocks. So let's verify how many daily supply zones are having daily EMA confluence. With this filter, we got 4 stocks. So these 4 are having more high probability to get success. Maybe that is the reason why I see some of these zones already tested multiple times. Okay, next we will filter based on LTF, ITF and HTF supply zone confluence supported stocks. Removing EMA filter, supply zone confluence, we should set 3 filters. First filter is already enabled. Next 75 with weekly supply zone confluence. Daily with weekly supply zone confluence. With all the 3 filters, we got only 1 stock. So this 75-minute supply zone overlapped with daily, both together again overlapped with weekly supply zone. But weekly trend is down, so if weekly supply zone having weekly EMA, this stock might be having more high probability to get success. Let's verify. EMA confluence at a weekly time frame, checking weekly supply zone having weekly EMA confluence. Yes, it is filtered. EMA confluence, weekly supply zone with weekly EMA confluence. So this stock is having even more high probability to get success. So this is about a bearish trade setup for a weekly income trade. Next we will look into daily income trade reports. Bullish trade setup, daily income trade, entry time frame 15 minutes, entry zone, demand zone, bullish or bearish at 15 minutes time frame. I am selecting bullish. Zone achievement should be violated, opposing zone, minimum odd and enhancer score should be 12, and also 15 minutes demand zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count parameter at 15 minutes time frame, I am setting minimum value 0, maximum value 0. With these filters, we got 12 stocks. Out of these 12, how many are having even more high probability to get success? Let us filter based on the zone confluence. First filter is LTF, ITF demand zone confluence. That is a 15 minutes and 75 minutes demand zone confluence. With this filter, we got 11 stocks. In these 11 stocks, these 15 minutes demand zones overlapped with 75 minutes demand zone. And 75 minutes trend is uptrend. That's why if any 75 minutes demand zones are having daily EMA confluence, then these 15 minutes demand zones might be having more high probability to get success. So let's filter. EMA confluence at 75 minutes time frame. I am setting the filter 75 minutes demand zone with daily EMA confluence. We got 3 stocks. So these 3 15 minutes demand zones are having even more high probability to get success. Okay. Next we will filter based on LTF, ITF, HTF demand zone confluence. Removing EMA filter. In the demand zone confluence, 3 filters we have to set. First filter is enabled. Next 15 minutes with daily demand zone confluence. 75 minutes demand zone with daily demand zone confluence. With all the 3 filters, we got 5 stocks. In these 5 stocks, these daily 15 minutes demand zone overlapped with 75 minutes demand zone. Both together again overlapped with daily demand zone. But daily HTF trend is up in only 1 stock. Let us check if this stock daily demand zone having daily EMA confluence or not. If confluence is there, EMA, then it is even more high probability. Sideways we have to eliminate because EMA confluence doesn't make any sense in sideways trend. So that is the reason why in the EMA confluence at daily time frame, I am selecting daily demand zone having daily EMA confluence or not. At the same time, trend on the daily should not be sideways. It can be uptrend because it is bullish trade setup. Let's filter. Yes, this stock is filtered. That means this is having even more high probability to get success. Maybe that is the reason why it is already tested and prices are moving towards supply zone. Maybe previous report or even before that, our stock would have been listed in our report and we would have got trade. Good. Okay, this is about a bullish trade setup for a daily income trade. Next, bearish trade setup for daily income trade. Entry time frame 15 minutes, entry zone. Supply zone in bullish or bearish at 15 minutes. I am selecting bearish. Zone achievement violated, opposing zone. Minimum odd enhancer score 12. And 15 minute supply zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count at 15 minutes, I am selecting minimum value 0, maximum value 0. With these filters, we got 7 stocks. These 7 stocks are currently supporting bearish trade setup for daily income trade. Let us verify out of these 7, how many are having even more high probability to get success. So let us filter based on zone confluence. First filter LTF, ITF, supply zone confluence. That is a 15 minutes and a 75 minutes supply zone confluence. I enable the filter. With this filter, we got 4 stocks. Now let us check out of this, because 15 minutes over supply zones, these are the 15 minute supply zones, overlapped with 75 minute supply zones. 75 minutes trend is down. So that's why if 75 minute supply zone having daily EMA confluence, then these stocks might be having even more high probability to get success. Let's verify. EMA confluence at 75 minutes. I'm checking 75 minutes supply zone having daily EMA confluence or not. So none of the stocks are filtered. So none of the stocks are having EMA confluence at 75 minutes demand zone with daily EMA. Okay, next we will filter based on LTF, ITF, HTF supply zone confluence. I removed the EMA filter. In the supply zone confluence, 3 filters we have to set. First filter is already enabled. Next 15 minute supply zone with daily supply zone confluence. 75 minute supply zone with daily supply zone confluence. With all the 3 filters, we got only 1 stock. So in this stock, this 15 minute supply zone overlapped with 75 minute supply zone. Both together again overlapped with daily supply zone, and daily trend is down. So if this daily supply zone having daily EMA confluence, then this 15 minute supply zone might be having even more high probability to get success. Let's verify. In the EMA confluence at daily time frame, I am selecting daily supply zone having daily EMA confluence or not. So the stock is not filtered. So that is not having any EMA confluence. That means we don't have more high probability trade setup. Stocks are not available. So this is bearish trade setup for daily income trade. Next we will look into hourly income trade supported stocks. Entry time frame is 5 minutes. Entry zone is demand zone. In bullish or bearish trade setup, at 5 minutes I am selecting bullish. Zone achievement violated, opposing zone. Minimum odd enhancer score 12. And 5 minutes demand zone should not be pierced. So in the 5 minutes, minimum value 0, maximum value 0. With these filters, we got 6 stocks supporting bullish trade setup for hourly income trade. And all these entry time frame zones are 5 minutes demand zones. Out of these 6 stocks, how many are having ITF demand zone confluence? Let's verify. So that is 5 minutes demand zone with 15 minutes demand zone confluence. I enable the filter. So 6 stocks are filtered. In all the 6 stocks, these 5 minutes demand zones are overlapped with the 15 minutes demand zones. All these 5 minutes demand zones. And 15 minutes trend is uptrend, ITF trend. Let us check if any of the 15 minutes demand zones are having daily EMA confluence. So 1 stock is filtered. So probably this demand zone is having more high probability to get success. Maybe that is the reason why it is already tested. Okay, next let us filter based on LTF, ITF, HTF demand zone confluence. Removing EMA filter. LTF, ITF, HTF demand zone confluence. First filter is enabled. Second filter 5 minutes with 75 minutes zone confluence. 15 minutes demand zone with 75 minutes demand zone confluence. With all the three filters, we got 4 stocks. In these 4 stocks, these 5 minutes demand zones are overlapped with 15 minutes demand zones. Both together again overlapped with 75 minutes demand zone. And 75 minutes trend is up in 3 stocks. If any of these 3 stocks, if 75 minutes demand zones are having daily EMA confluence, then probably these 5 minutes demand zones are having more high probability to get success. Let's filter the EMA confluence at 75 minutes time frame. I am checking 75 minutes demand zone is having daily EMA confluence. And at the same time, trend at the 75 minutes time frame should not be sideways. It should be uptrend because it is bullish trade setup. So we got 1 stock. So this 5 minutes demand zone might be having more high probability to get success compared to the other zones. So this is a bullish trade setup for hourly income trade. Next, we will look into bearish trade setup for hourly income trade. Entry time frame 5 minutes, entry zone, supply zone, bullish or bearish at 5 minutes. I am selecting bearish. Zone achievement VOZ, minimum order enhancer score 12, and also 5 minute supply zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count at 5 minutes, minimum value 0, maximum value 0. With these filters, we got 10 stocks. Out of these 10, how many are having ITF confluence? Let us verify. That is 5 minute supply zones with 15 minute supply zone confluence supported stocks to get high probability supported stocks. In the supply zone confluence, I am enabling the filter 5 minute supply zone with 15 minute supply zone. With this filter, the list is come down to 6 stocks. In these 6 stocks, these 5 minute supply zones are overlapped with 15 minute supply zones. And 15 minutes trend is down in all these stocks. Let us check if any of the 15 minute supply zones are having daily EMA confluence. So 15 minute supply zones with daily EMA confluence, we got 1 stock. So DLF, this supply zone, this 5 minute supply zone might be having more high probability to get success compared to the other stocks. So this is based on LTF, ITF supply zone confluence and ITF EMA confluence. Next we will look into LTF, ITF and even HTF supply zone confluence supported stocks. Removing EMA filter. In the supply zone confluence, we should set 3 filters. First filter is already enabled. Next 5 minute supply zone with 75 minute supply zone confluence. 15 minute supply zone with 75 minute supply zone confluence. With all the 3 filters, we got 3 stocks. So in these 3 stocks, these 5 minute supply zones overlapped with 15 minute supply zone. Both together again overlapped with 75 minute supply zone. But 75 minutes trend is sideways, so sideways trend EMA filter does not give any advantage. So we are not filtering. So this is a bearish trade setup for hourly income trade. With this, we have completed all the income trade reports. And in the final report, let us generate stop buffers based on daily ATR. So first 17 in this list are indices, remaining all are equity stocks. So I'm scrolling the list down. Whichever the stock you want to refer, there pause the video. So this is the end of the report. Hope this information will be useful to you for your further study and analysis. Let's all meet again in our next video. Thank you.